Hey everybody, Josh Bess here. And I'll show you a few important things for both beginners and seasoned users of this software. I'll explain importing audio and MIDI tracks into Cubase, writing lyrics into the VOCALOID4 editor, and the main topic of this video, adjusting your phonetic symbols to create a more natural sounding singer.
VOCALOID.
The first thing we'll do is open Cubase, and I'll open a blank session. And I know that my tempo is at 85 BPM, so I'll change the tempo here to 85. And on my desktop, I have both an audio file containing the music we'll be working with, along with a MIDI file containing the notes for our singer's melody. And both these files are available for download on the Vocaloid blog. So if you pause this video, go and download the files from the blog, you can use the same files I'm using here to follow along with this whole video. So once you have your files, simply drag the audio files into Cubase. And this is what it sounds like. And I'll create an instrument track and choose the VOCALOID4 instrument, and I'll choose add track. Now I'll drag the MIDI file into this track here. I'll lower the volume of the music audio file, and we could take a listen to the stock sound of our Vocaloid singer after simply adding in the MIDI file to the session. So that's our melody. And you could hear the Vocaloid singer automatically start singing with an ooh sound when you first put this in. So let's start writing in some lyrics to this as well. So I'll open up the Vocaloid editor and write in our own lyrics to this melody. So I'll double click on the green part of this first note and I'll write in the lyrics. I never really saw you coming. And the syllables will automatically be divided between each note, so it'll sound like this.
I never really saw you coming.
And on this section, I'll write until you turn me around. And let's listen to this.
I never really saw you coming until you turned me around.
Okay, now before jumping into really editing this in full, I'll fix two little things. First, the word coming ends a bit too quick for me, so I'll simply extend this note out a little longer to extend the full word. And I'll also extend the word around as well.
I never really saw you coming until you turned me around.
All right. So I like the way this whole melody sounds right now, although I want to make this sound a little bit more natural to the American English language. So I'm going to adjust the phonetic symbols within this as well. And this is one of my favorite parts of Vocaloid, being able to control not only the melodies and the rhythm we're creating, but the phonetic symbols as well, and to actually make the sound like a natural singer. So let's jump into that part. I'll use the word coming, for example. When playing this back,
Coming.
you could hear that having the full word coming is the correct way to actually say this in the English language. Although when you're actually singing it or saying it naturally to your friends, for example, you may say comin'. You might get rid of that G on the end. So we could actually do that. We could get rid of that little piece by changing the phonetic symbols within this.
Ming.
As you've seen before, when you click on the green part of this note, you can change the lyrics. Although when you click on the bottom part of this note, you can now open up this note property window. And within this window, we can edit the note even further. For example, this note is representing the second half of this word coming by simply showing the ing part. And the phonetic symbol for this word is represented as a lowercase m, a capital I, and a capital N. Where if I simply change this capital N to a lowercase n, we'll get rid of that hard G sound at the end of the word,
Min.
creating a more natural ending to this word. So this is it before,
Ming.
and this is it after.
Min.
And together, it sounds like this.
Come in.
And this is more natural to what somebody would actually sing or say in real life. Although when playing this whole melody through, you can hear the word coming is now altered because we changed the end of the word.
I never really saw you in.
So we need to edit the first part of this word as well. So by following the same method, I'll simply double click on the bottom part of this note for the syllable k and open up the note property window. And here's a trick to find out the phonetic symbol if you don't know what to write off the top of your head. I want this note to say k. I want it to make that type of sound. Since this note is split up, the only note that this phonetic symbol is using right now is for the word co. So it's a CO. So what I'll simply do is type in a word that I know that uses the k sound. So for example, I'll write in the word come.
Come.
And I can see the phonetic symbol for this word is KHVM. So lowercase kh, a capital V, and an M. So I can assume the M is the thing that we don't need. So I'll delete the M,
Ka.
and we should get the sound of a k.
Come in.
And there we go. So when I put this all together, it'll sound like this.
I never really saw you come in.
Okay, now another word I want to fix is the word turned.
Until you turn me around.
This word is being spoken a little too quick for me. It doesn't sound very natural, and I simply just don't like the way it sounds within the song like this. So what I want to do is stretch this word out a bit, and I'll show you a helpful technique to do this when you have one single note, but you want to stretch out this word in particular by any placement you want. So I'll shorten this note.
Turn.
I'll copy this note with
Turn.
Command C on a Mac
Turn.
and paste this note with Command V. I'll extend this note out. And here's another little trick. When I put my cursor between these two notes and hold the Option key on a Mac keyboard, I can drag between the length of both
Turn.
of these clips. So they stay connected, although I can adjust where the starting point is for each one.
Until you turn me around.
And similar to before, I can jump into the note property window for this
Turn.
note and simply delete the ND part at the end of this. So the und. So all I have is ter.
Tur. Tur. Turn.
And on this note, I'll get rid of the beginning phonetics. So all I have is the und sound.
Tur.
Now I can play this whole section back.
Till you turn me around.
And I can now adjust the length of when the end of the word comes in by simply dragging this clip around. So this is the way to control a word with a single syllable, but you could control exactly how long or short this is working with the rhythm of your music. Super helpful technique to use.
Until you turn me around.
So this is a bit too short.
Until you turn me around.
I'm still not fully getting the hard D sound, so I'll extend this out a bit.
Until you turn me around.
Maybe a tiny bit more.
Until you turn me around.
And that sounds pretty good. So this is what we get.
I never really saw you come in. Until you turn me around.
So these two things alone really change the way these words sound. And this is a huge part of Vocaloid. This is a huge reason why there's a community of people pushing the limits of this instrument as well. There's so much you can do with the phonetic symbols, which can take a simple melody line and bring a completely new character to the sound, utilizing various phonetic symbols and creative ways to divide your lyrics across multiple notes. There's a lot more I can do with this sound, although I'll keep this video short and focused on this one idea for now. And I'll give you the session and all the samples I've used in this video as well for you to take even farther and finish what I've started. If you head over to the Vocaloid blog, there'll be a download for the audio files and VSQX files used in this video, and you could download the files needed to create your own Vocaloid melodies. If you think these ideas will help one of you and your friends get started with Vocaloid, please share this with them as well and bring them into the community of creators. Thanks again, let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll get back to you soon with a new video.